Okay. Let's get this over with. Alright. So, part of the reason I'm using my phone for this is because it's been a year since I've used the wireless MEs, so I forgot how to charge them. But I'll figure it out over time. So, Project AMBIENCE is designed to explore the feeling of sonder, where people suddenly, I don't know, I guess something clicks into place, where everyone understands that everyone has a life that's just as colourful and interconnected as their own. And I don't think it would be a fair assessment of, people if I wasn't included in this. So last night, during one of those 3 a.m. bursts of motivation, I came up with the next thing. I came up with Operation 365. So about every month or two maybe, I am going to make one of these videos covering a different challenge, because I just got out of a year-long relationship. A year-long relationship is gone, and I'm realizing a lot about myself, like how I was not a good boyfriend at all, and I can do better. So these videos are going to be me setting goals to try and better myself over time. And I know I'm starting at a weird time. I'm starting at the end of a year, but I think if I didn't start now, I wouldn't ever do it. Okay, so what is this month's mission? Because I want this done and out there in December. This month's mission is lower my fucking phone screen time. Holy shit. I don't think you guys get it. I average 8 hours a day. That's not healthy for anyone. So that's the mission. I am out here today on a walk, and I couldn't bring the dogs. I couldn't bring Sophie and Gordon because pure laziness on my part from a year ago. We didn't train my dog Gordon. We didn't train him that well to walk and everything, so I need my dad for that, but he's gone for the day. So I'm here, and I wrote everything a script last night. I recorded that script and I might re-record it later. And today's gone pretty well. I got up. I didn't do my goal from last night, which was get up, don't spend an hour on your phone, which is what I usually do. This time I spent 2 hours, which kind of evolving backwards a bit. So yeah, tonight I am going to keep up the screen time though, because you might be thinking, if you want to go out and spend less time on your phone, why don't you just go to work? Yeah, I would love to do that. I don't have a job. So tonight I'm reworking my resume. I need to do that because my resume is really outdated. Alright. I don't know if I'll cover every single day. I feel like that'd be a bit much, because that's 30 days, and I don't want to record myself for 30 days. I'm not that type of person, especially if I take a day off, which odds are, knowing me, will happen. There's a dragonfly. That's cool. Anyway, I'm gonna record what I can, and I'm hoping my journey will help someone else. I don't know what it'll help them with, but there's a lot that I need to learn and figure out about myself. And I think doing it like this is more of a push than journaling is. I think, anyway. Okay, time to pack up and walk all the way home. I'm not where I wanted to film. I'm on the other side of this national park, sort of. I'm on the other side of it, so I need to pack up my shit and walk all the way home, because I got lost. That's game. Alright, what's the time?
It is 7:15. I'm not a morning person, so, you know. Okay, I have a reading list of the books I want to get through while I'm at Mum's. Starting off, we have Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, that I am not even halfway through because I find his writing so hard to actually read. Next, we've got The Price of Salvation by John Anderson. I have yet to open it really, but he says Red Dead Redemption 2 is a big inspiration, and that's one of my favourite games because I love cowboys. Hellboy and the BPRD, The Beast of Vargu and others, mainly for the Krampus. I like Krampus stuff. Hellboy and the BPRD 1952 to 54, need to get through that. And my all-time favourite comic, Pulp, which I hope to one day turn into a movie. I've got 5 days.
The very first adventure of Operation 365 had me go on and visit my mum, who now lives in this teeny tiny rural town in Victoria. The town is pretty small, unlike country towns that still have town squares and such. There is a town like that, 40 minutes away. Lake Bolac in general had a strange air about it the first time I went there, but on this second go around, it felt really nice. It was a great getaway. As an example of how small it is, in the 2021 census, it was concluded that an estimated 368 people reside there. That's kind of really small, for those of you with a bad sense of scale. Lake Bolac's history isn't really notable outside of a small tornado in 2006, which, insane, we don't really get tornadoes in Australia. However, its culture is quite fun to see, especially with the native walk that they have that goes all in the history of the town. I didn't get to see the Eel Festival during my stay, but I did get to see a sheep shearing contest, which led to a nice party at the pub, but that's getting ahead of myself. The drive there takes me a full day, and studies show you should stop every 2 hours or so. My stops were Tailem Bend, Bordertown, Horsham, before finally arriving in Lake Bolac. I did my best to get some videos of the adventures, so take it away, I guess. Alright, I made it to Tailem Bend. It's not much here. I'm at they have like this servo outside of the actual town. That's where I'm at. It's a truck stop. The race course is just over there. I'm going to have lunch. Well, first lunch of the day. I'm gonna get through about 3 sandwiches getting there. That's the plan, anyway. Yeah. First sandwich of the day, ham and cheese. Watch this. These guys have been behind me for the last few hundred meters. There's another one still. But I'm doing speed limit. You know, I'm getting that. Straight zooming, yo. Look, I'm happy to be overtaken by people, but I swear to God, if you overtake me, and then I find you like at something like this, a whole line of other cars, I'm gonna be pissed. Made it to Bordertown. Alright, time for the next sandwich. So the Bordertown servo has a subway, but the next stop is Horsham, where like right next to it there is also a subway. So I won't get a subway here, but what I'm thinking is I'll get a subway in Horsham maybe, and then have this other sandwich for dinner later. I don't know, I'm figuring it out. I have drinks in here and everything, so I'm just gonna relax for a bit. Not long though, hold on. When did I get here? Let me investigate. So I'm not that hungry now, but if I get hungry on the stretch between here and Horsham, then I do actually have Doritos and burger rings, just in case. Got here 10 minutes ago. I'll give it another like 10, because 20-minute break is pretty good. I was like looking on Google Maps. And Horsham is another, I think, hour and a half drive. Hour and 50 pretty much. Now, Horsham is going to be the fun part, because Horsham is like the crossroads on how to get to my mum's place. So you can go to Ararat, which that's how I went last time, and it was pretty easy. This other way though, there's a little town called Cavendish that you can stop in. So, like, and going Cavendish also puts you on a highway that goes straight there. Thing is with Ararat is I can just stay on the freeway. I can stay on the highway all the way to Ararat, but then I need to remember to like turn off. So that's the hard part, is remembering that turn off. We'll figure it out in Horsham, I think. Yeah. Peace. I think this is the most boring stretch of the entire drive. Because this is all that's here, is just farmland. Either side. Except that side has like a train track. That's all there is to the entire like stretch of road between Bordertown and Horsham. Horsham, alright. So this was the last sort of like rally point that we had on the trip. So now comes the hard part. Okay, so it's still an hour and 40 minutes away. So I'm gonna finish my Hellboy audio, at least. Like the graphic audio drama thing or whatever. So that's gonna be good. But then I'm just gonna have to chill with music for about 40 minutes. Ideally, I go through Ararat, because that is like, I don't know, that's just like staying on the highway I've been on and then turning on to another highway, which takes me straight to it. Or I can go the Grampians way, which is also a highway, not the same one I've been on, and also the turn off is in what looks like a little tiny town called Cavendish. So I might go the Ararat way, but again, I'm just scared I'm gonna miss the exit. So let me... Okay, so this is the blue one is the road I'm on. Ignore that blue part, but it keeps going, and then I have to turn left, I have to turn right from this intersection, and I have to go down, and then that'll carry me right there. So... I'll see you there. Made it. We are a few hours later. The car is here. Fuck, it's filthy. Okay, I'm pointing out a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna give you guys like a basic ass tour. There's some rabbits. Big old horror movie shed ready to go. All of this, which would be amazing to film something with. There's even more over at that place. That being said, this house does have this, which I quite like. I think this is a cool thing to have on a property. Later, when everyone's going to bed, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Alright, here's what we're working with. I'll be honest, when I first came here, I did not think the lake was very big, because I did see a lake on the drive-in, I don't know about you, but this looks pretty big, and it stretches like right the way around, so I need to bring the kayak sometime. I need to get roof racks first. About a day after my arrival, me and the family went to the town of Ararat to take a look at this antique store and just generally hang around. I saw a lot of cool stuff, but nothing that really spoke out to me, so except Napoleon Dynamite. I did buy Napoleon Dynamite. We also, I think the day before, or maybe that day, we went to see this glass blowing guy, and that was really cool. I did not have enough money to buy anything from him, as much as I actually would have loved to, because there was a beautiful painting on the wall. The day before my granddad left to go back home, he decided, among everyone else, that we should open up this box that they have just, in that massive shed from earlier. So, we got to work, only to find it was literally just a pane of glass. I don't know what the previous owner was doing with that, but I'm sure we'll find out one day somehow. The next day, me and the family went to Port Fairy. It was an alright place. It's on the Great Ocean Road, so if you ever do that road trip, you'll definitely see it. And yeah, I don't know, it's a port town. I've seen plenty. Australia is kind of built on port towns. On my final day in Lake Bolac, they had a sheep shearing contest down at the pub. So I walked down to that, past these really cool abandoned buildings that I'd love to go into sometime. But after the sheep shearing contest, there was like a little concert going. It was awesome. I'll show you some footage, because it absolutely rocked. If you have a fear of spiders, I think Lake Bolac is the place to be, because there's one there, right, there's one just there, you can kind of see him, there's you, well, oh my god, you can hardly see him, but there's one there, and there's one there, and I saw this guy while I was taking a shit. For reference. That's terrifying. Found another spider. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, don't get too close, then I'll get creeped out and won't be able to sleep. There is fireworks and I killed a spider. I've got to see these, dude. On the way home between stops, I recorded this, well not recorded, but I wrote down this little anecdote that I wanted to say about windmills. So, I'm gonna let you guys listen to that. I have a lot to say about some things. One thing in particular is windmills. I think the thing I love the most about driving cross country is the wind farms. Not the old rusty ones that sit there to show where water is, but full on wind farms. There's something so mesmerizing about them. I don't get that liminal space feeling from gas stations anymore, but these still give me that. I could sit underneath, just a ton of them for hours upon hours. Maybe one of these episodes will have me visit a wind farm, just for fun. A couple days after I got back, 2 events in Adelaide demanded my attention. The Adelaide Antique Knife and Gun Show and the Adelaide 500. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of the knife and gun show except this photo of a guy in a MAGA shirt. Yep, a MAGA shirt in Australia. Never thought I'd see it, but you know, Australia's weird. The Adelaide 500 always piques my interest. To a lot of people, and a lot of my friends in particular, it's just rich guys driving in circles. They're kinda right if you could call that a circle. There's not really as much to say about the Adelaide 500 that the commentators don't already say, especially not in comparison with Lake Bolac's portion of the video. This makes for a very lackluster first episode, which I know is not normal, but you know, the footage should console that feeling. The only part of the 500 that I don't like is the F-18's flyover. I hate that. In fact, here's a clip of me seeing it coming and sitting down during the national anthem out of pure fear of the damn thing. Here he comes. Yeah, I see him. There's nothing like becoming so enraptured in a race, especially when you're rooting for an underdog, that you start to count the cars to figure out what place your car is in, out of hope that the scoreboard is a lie. I got that a few times, honestly, and I was so proud of my little pink boy. There's a lot that I liked about this year in the 500. You know, an equivalent to the Rockettes performing, some awesome crashes, and some fantastic people in seats around us. However, there seemed to be several missing pieces of the puzzle, such as I remember one year, they had like a tent with a bunch of cars from movies. I think that was the 500 anyway. Back then it was called the Clipsal. I really liked that. That was always a highlight, so I'd love to see that come back. I will now show you footage of the Adelaide 500.
Which represented the best part of 6 or 7 metres and nobody was blinking, so for Chaz, let's do the gravel. Exactly. So you don't often get away with this. Check this out. So he's very bold, aggressive, straight across there and then across
I believe that's all I have to say about the Adelaide 500, so now we move on to the last pieces of this month's puzzle, the conclusion. I didn't exactly do my goal for the month of lowering my screen time on my little phone here, but I did go out and do more things than I have been doing. And I think the thing that I want to talk the most about is just down the road here a ways, there's a pool hall, which you're undoubtedly going to see while I'm doing all this. And I went out with a friend one night, and there was a moment after dropping her at home on the drive to my place where I took a very deep breath in, and just for a minute, not even a minute, it was 5 seconds really, if that, I took my hands off the wheel for a second, took a deep breath out, and then put them back on. And it wasn't something like I was afraid or wanting to crash or anything. Instead it was like me talking to fate and saying, if you're going to do it now, or I'm going to live to see the next 30 years. And for those of you that are stupid in the audience, I think I'm still standing. So I guess you're stuck with me for another 30. Something I never realised with my ex was I always underestimated my autism, and I think she did too, and fucking everyone in my life did. And part of it is I put my own interests first all the time. Whenever we were watching a movie, it had to be a movie that I wanted to watch. Whenever we were listening to music in the car, it had to be music I wanted to listen to. And that just kept going on. Games, whatever. And she'd tell me that over and over again, but it never really clicked in my head. But now in the breakup, I've realised just like, man, I was such a fucking prick, eh? But maybe that'll change. I'm hoping, now that I'm aware of it anyway. My psychologist said that being self-aware is the first step, so getting there. I realised only in the breakup that I'd lost a lot of parts of myself, and I wasn't really happy about that. Like, I forgot, I don't know, I just lost the courage to be me. And I got that back only in the last few days, and that made me really happy. I mean, I asked a girl for a number, and for any introvert, that's a pretty big deal. Until they turn out to be 16, then it kind of goes downhill a bit. But there are some parts of me that I do think I should forget, and I want to be like the person that my ex fell for again. Because that guy was cool, and I think I've become too lazy to be him, so I need to work towards it again. I think I have a good chance at that now. So I'll do my best, and that leads me into the next episode, which will be releasing February 5th, which is New Year's resolutions. It'll cover December and January, so be excited for that, I guess. I made a new hand sign. I am awkward, I don't know what to do with my hands, so like often in photos I'll end up doing like that. Sometimes you'll throw in a bit of Spider-Man. I think that's the tram coming. Anyway, so I came up with this one. That is the tram. This one, I have no idea what it's going to mean yet. We're going to discover that together. If you have any suggestions, please let me know, because I'm taking them. I like that it looks alien, because it adds like a layer of uniqueness compared to that. And how often do you see people doing that? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I see people like doing that. I don't know why. That's just different and unique. So join me in the alien club, I guess. Me and my friend came up with this word at a Macca's at about 10:30 p.m. and it was oddly busy for a Thursday. I mean, who the hell goes to Macca's and sits inside at 10:30 on a Thursday? Besides us, I mean, we're the cool kids, we're allowed to do that. But it felt like everything was crossing over at once. Because with Sunday you get the feeling of everyone's living their own lives. At this Macca's, at this time of night, on that day, it felt like everything was sort of mixing together. It wasn't like a transitional point or anything. It wasn't realizing that other people have these lives. It was realizing that you could do something here and it either wouldn't matter or it would change everything. I feel like since I'm using a word from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, it's only fair if I give one back. So, me and my friend came up with a new word. It's called Secevipo. Secevipo comes from 3 Latin words. Forgive me, I'm gonna have to read this off my phone because I'm bad at memorizing, hence why I'm not an actor. Secevipo is a noun that means the intersection of many people's lives. The word comes from 3 Latin words. Sece for intersect, vita for life, and po from populus. This is like a liminal space. However, liminal spaces are always like between a place, between point A and point B, like a gas station on a road trip, or what else did I have here? High schools on the road to adulthood, even traffic lights at like after a rainy night. That's what a liminal space is. These ones are more where like roads intersect on the human highways. That sounds really pretentious, but I swear to God, it's a great word. You can see my script here and it's long as hell. So we'll skip to the last part now. Okay, you've reached the end of the video. Good job. You get a metaphorical cookie, or a real one if you have one next to you. Munch on that all day. So now I'm going to say goodbye. Here's how I ended my month with music provided by the very generous Misc. This is The Lightning Thief. Stay tuned.
Absolute peak of human perfection. But there came a day when giant quakes threatened to destroy Krypton forever.
6 schools in 6 years. I've activated my 6th sense for 16 years. Emperor of the sea, I've activated my 6th gear. I wanna rule the world just like I'm Tears for Fear. I'm shifting gears, I went from hell and back bros, and now I'm sitting Monica's beer. I battle with temptation, Hades, son, I strike him down with Poseidon's spear. And when I'm inside, I strike them down with Riptide. No time for getting lost, no trios on the hillside. And if they tryna block me out, you know I'll still shine. You know I'm destined if I am, I need a clear sign. Medusa got me in the sights just like I'm Squarespace. Might go so high, not even Hurry's boost could dare race. I might be too hard, I should start at my own pace. But I'm just tired of getting stepped on like a staircase. I battle with worldly desires everywhere that I go. They just wanted my attention, trying to turn me to stone. I'm breaking the mold, they wanna be like me like a mode. A treacherous road, cause I'm too busy cracking the code. I'll go outside my comfort zone and then I fall like I'm Rome. The world is full of many dangers everywhere that I roam. I'm out in the cold, what is it that my future beholds? When stories are told, my mental steady taking a toll. But I'm miscellaneous, son of Poseidon. I'm beating furious, you can get hit with the trident. No, I keep the book up in my belt like I'm Orion. If you ain't DOA records, know that I ain't never signed it. I'm miscellaneous, new name Poseidon. I'm making waves, but I got this beat ignited. Travel distant lands, don't care if it's Athens or Zion. Made the game turn into diamonds from the pressure I'm applying, that's all gang. If you tryna block me out, then you know I'll break the frame. Like when Medusa's hit, I'll sever it, make sure I'm taking aim. You can ask all of my brothers, I ain't go against the grain. Begging back to call me Bane with all the furies that I slay. Now Mr. D told me, I better find this lightning bolt all I ever cared to see. My mom again, she's down in Hades, now it's up to me. And my friends Annabeth and Grover, we like do-re-mi. Hey, I battle with worldly desires everywhere that I go. They just wanted my attention, trying to turn me to stone. I'm breaking the mold, they wanna be like me like a mode. A treacherous road, cause I was too busy cracking the code. I go outside my comfort zone and then I fall like a Rome. The world is full of many dangers everywhere that our future beholds. But stories are told, my mental steady taking